Hi, my name is Katie Winterbottom, and I work at Nordstrom. I lead the fraud, personalization, and discovery data science teams. I've been working with the company for 3 years, and I absolutely love it. So like most people today, with all the important stuff that's going on in the world, I'm going to talk to you about shopping. More specifically, I'm going to talk to you about shopping for fashion. And even more specifically, I'm going to talk about some of the amazing work my team is doing around product discovery at Nordstrom. Like all good stories, this one starts with a problem, which is essentially, how do we recreate the personalized, high-touch, service-oriented shopping experience that customers are used to in-store when they're shopping online? To make this problem a little more concrete, let's start with an example. Say we have a customer. She's getting ready for a socially distant garden party with a few close vaccinated friends and family, a coming out occasion of sorts. But it's been forever since she's been out and about and she has nothing to wear. So what's she gonna do? Well, in the before times, she might have gone to a physical store. She could have walked into the store and spoken to a service person and asked natural language questions, just like the one posed, going to a garden party, etc. And the salesperson, who's well-trained and knows how their department works, as well as how to work with customers, could have guided her through the process. And as they worked together, she would likely have tried on a few dresses. She may have adjusted her query based on what she tried. For example, she may have decided she would be more comfortable in a garment with cap sleeves versus sleeveless, or more pink undertones than blues. And the stylist would work with her until she found the one. And depending on her interests, the stylist might also have helped her pair shoes and accessories, putting together the perfect outfit that would help her feel confident as she ventures back into the world. Not bad, right? That's always been Nordstrom's competitive advantage: service and fashion authority. That's all well and good, but what does this look like when the customer starts her query online? Well, we have the same person asking the same question, only this time she has to navigate a rigid search and browse process designed around a product taxonomy that, although well-intentioned, doesn't do a great job of answering natural language questions such as, I want a dress for a garden party that hides my arms. So our sample customer tries to search and navigate the rigid hierarchy, but ultimately she's just frustrated. She hasn't found what she needs or gotten any sort of style inspiration. Instead, she's just annoyed. We've managed to hurt our relationship with a good customer, all by not meeting her where she is, by making her conform to our discovery process instead of making our discovery process respond to her needs. Enter deep learning. Now, this is an AI conference, so I'm sure most folks are aware of the recent advances in deep learning, natural language processing, and computer vision. Together, these have been cause for revolution across industries, from healthcare to cybersecurity to education. So we asked ourselves, why not fashion? What if we could take that customer's language of intent, their actual human question, and ingest that directly into our data discovery process? What if we could return relevant results to queries we hadn't anticipated when creating a taxonomy or tagging structure? What if we could allow her to iterate and improve her own results? taking the search engine the same way, talking to the search engine the same way she talked to the salesperson in our example, until she finally found the one. What if we could take that one and use it as a seed to generate an outfit, giving her the confidence to walk into her garden party with the same sense of self-expression she might have felt after working with a stylist? Enter Fashion Map. Fashion Map is an application of deep learning specific to the product discovery space for fashion. It builds on advances in deep learning and natural language processing and computer vision. And most importantly, it exists as a platform, a capability that enables us to solve many of the problems or opportunities we've seen so far. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so what the heck is Fashion Map? Fashion Map is a way of combining natural language processing and image recognition embeddings in the same multidimensional space. To make that a little more specific, Fashion Map is essentially an ensemble model that takes a natural language embedding model similar to BERT and combines it with a computer vision model similar to ResNet 50 in such a way that these two embeddings still exist in the same space, creating a map, if you will. Let's take, for example, this blue men's shirt. If we run this flat product image through our image embedding model, it spits out some sort of embedding, essentially a vector with information about what visual concepts are contained in this image. Okay, pretty straightforward, right? So next we do the same thing with the text and the associated product attributes and run that through an NLP model. Then it spits out its own set of embeddings with information on the natural language concepts that are contained in the product. Again, pretty straightforward, right? The magic comes when you combine the two on the same scale. When you do that, what you get is a multi-dimensional representation of the fashion concepts embedded in the item. In other words, a map. This is, of course, a simplification, or more specifically, a two-dimensional representation of a multi-dimensional space. But even with those dimension reduction techniques employed, you can get a pretty good idea of what this process makes possible. We have different regions with different styles, with color representation important, but style and cut too. For example, if we zoom in a little bit, we can see we have a jumpsuit region over here to the right. And over here, we have more patterns, which break down further into florals, polka dots, etc. So beyond super cool product visualizations, what else can we do? In other words, what can we do for our customers? Well, it turns out a lot. One area where we've seen a lot of success with Fashion Map is in search. In our old system, search was powered by manual curation. Literally, products were tagged via a manual product setup process. We've done some modernization here, but at the end of the day, our legacy search system is about classifying products into a rigid set of hierarchies that make sense to our merchandisers, but not necessarily to our customers. With Fashion Map, we stand this on its head. By combining natural language processing with computer vision, we make it possible for customers to search for esoteric concepts that we might never have thought to include in our manual or supervised classification process. Let's bring this to life with an example. Let's say we have a customer coming to our site to search for an esoteric concept like skater girl. Intuitively, most of us have a sense of what this is, but our search engine is clueless. It's not the kind of term that we have built into our taxonomy, and it shows. I personally don't identify as a skater girl, but I'll bet if I did, that these dresses would not be what I was looking for. Contrast that with Fashion Map. The native zero-shot learning capabilities of Fashion Map enable us to search directly for this concept, even if we don't have hand-labeled trading data for the topic. Behind the scenes, what Fashion Map actually does is to take the query term skater girl and create NLP embeddings for that term. Then we position these embeddings in the multidimensional vector space and search for nearest neighbors. And that's how we get our search results, which I think kind of speak for themselves. Another really helpful capability unlocked by the Fashion Map, and again, enabled by zero-shot learning, is a mechanism to do model monitoring and evaluation in the context of an unsupervised problem. In other words, if you tell a product manager, how good are these search results? They might say, I can tell you when I see them. But of course, that doesn't scale. What we can do at scale is to look at classification performance across a set of known categories, like color, department, any previously labeled data, and compare our performance against that benchmark. Let's return to our men's button-down shirt example. With Fashion Map, we can use the image data on the left and zero-shot learning as a way to evaluate the accuracy of these embeddings. In other words, we ask the model, what is this product? And the model spits out a relevance score. Basically, which category represents this product? Iterating over an entire corpus of product images using some set of labeled data, we can get a sense of how well our model does at predicting the correct category or categories. And we use this to visualize improvements as we iterate over time. I gotta say, it's pretty cool. Last but not least, I'd like to call out some of the more advanced integrations we're going after with the Fashion Map. One of these we're calling Fashion Arithmetic. Essentially, what we're going after here is recreating that interactive in-store styling experience. In other words, we want our user to be able to look at a pair of pants and say, I like this, but I want something more edgy. Or I like this dress, but I want something dreamier and in a more pastel color. We call it Fashion Arithmetic because essentially what we're saying is take this and subtract that. Take this and add that. And at the end of the day, what we're building here is a platform, one that we can use to make product discovery better, starting with search and moving outward from there. For example, outfitting. These images come from a prototype we have going, where a customer can create an outfit around a natural language concept. In other words, I'd like an outfit with a red floral dress, or I'd like an outfit with a loud shirt and blue shoes. We have work to do. These outfits aren't perfect, but we've come a long way, and I, for one, am really proud. I'm also excited because at the end of the day, it's all about our customer and making sure she's able to shop for what she wants so she can look and feel her best. Because the truth is, fashion is really all about self-expression, which may not be as compelling as using deep learning to say, cure cancer, but on its own merits, it's pretty important too. Before I pause for questions, I just wanna take a minute to say, oops, we are hiring. In my group, we have 5 open roles in both analytics and data science. And there's many more across the company. So if you're interested, please connect with me on LinkedIn and let's chat.